This week on 5 Brilliant Things, we have the fantastic Ania Magliano.
I had an audience member once bring me some ADHD medication.
Don't take that. That sounds such a Gen Z way of trying to spike someone's drink, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Of like, I think you might have this. Oh, thanks for... Suddenly you change to a radiator.
But really focused on it.
Yeah, but you're going to escape.
Do you know there was a version of that film which they tested on audiences where they had buttholes? Like all the actors had cat buttholes.
What a great job. What an insane job that is.
But then the audience said we don't like the buttholes, so they had to remove all the buttholes.
Newborn baby is 75% water, which is a little bit more than a banana, a little bit less than a potato.
Yeah. Well, imagine if your nurse described your child like that.
We're not doing gender anymore.
Yeah.
It's between potato and banana.
You're just ringing up your parents. We've had a potato. I don't know what to do. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Can I start straight away with your tie?
Oh, yeah. Go on.
I love it.
Thank you.
I really love it. For the benefit of people listening rather than watching, Annie is wearing a lovely sort of yellow tie.
Yeah, I would even say mustard.
Yeah, you
I would
are
throw
correct.
mustard into the mix.
But but what I'm curious about it is, does it take confidence to put on a tie like that? Because it really works. But I would love to be able to do that. But I would think that everyone would be thinking, why is he wearing a tie? Whereas you look like someone that's just thrown on a tie.
That is such a nice compliment. Thank you so much. Yeah. I guess it takes confidence and time, because I cannot tie a tie. Like, I think I can pull it off once I have it on.
Yes.
But if you could see me in my house watching YouTube video called How to Tie a Tie Left-Handed for like 15 minutes before I leave the house, I think it does undo some of the kind of suaveness of wearing a tie.
Those niche YouTube videos have changed the world, haven't they? Because, like, if you bought a new lawnmower, you're trying to make it work and you're completely inept, why would you ever need this video before? And yet in that moment, how to use a lawnmower, and some guy in America,
it's always in America,
there's a 10-minute video. Hi guys, you probably yes I do want to know how to use this lawnmower.
That's the same guy who did my tie, for sure.
But who would have thought that a bank manager is not a job, but describing how to use a thing is a job now?
Yeah, it's
Isn't
kind
that
of
weird?
replacing, I think I would never look something up on a leaflet. No. Now, like, you know, when you get a packet of something and the instructions, you just throw that straight away in the bin, because
they're gone.
There's a
world
man on YouTube who will help you.
And I guess in some respects that's helped take the workload off the Chinese children that make the stuff. So at least they just have to assemble the stuff for us.
I think if they're getting some time off and it's going onto the backs of American men, that feels like a fair balance.
Right. Yeah. It feels like the world's getting better, doesn't it?
Yeah. This is a positive look at the world, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. But thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Very
having me.
excited. What is your first brilliant thing?
My first brilliant thing, it's a little bit abstract, but it was such an obvious choice, is gossip.
Okay.
Which I don't know how you're going to react to it. I feel like it can be a bit of a controversial topic.
Are you mad? I'm a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, okay, thank God.
I've been in cars.
Yeah.
I know how it works. I would argue stand-ups are the worst gossips in the world. And of my generation, there are two that are bad. And those people are Jared Christmas and me.
Oh, okay. And do you know what? The fact that you instantly said who they were shows that you're a great gossip.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're not doing any of the
But
I
I'm
couldn't
not
tell you who it was.
I'm not I would defend my gossip strategy here. I'm a listen, do you want to hear something exciting kind of a person, rather than deep dark secrets.
Yes, I think that's the classy way to do it.
Yeah. So there's different codes. If it's kind of like, such and such was watching porn backstage and he showed it to Lloyd.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
That's good gossip. But
you can't. I would
really
say
super personal stuff.
Yeah. I would never go that far. And if I was to, I'd preface it with something that made it seem like it wasn't gossip.
Okay. So what is your kind of like? Do you have a latest piece of gossip you can share just to prove how much you love it?
Oh gosh.
Or something you received?
Well, yeah, I do actually. I think this is, and do you know what? I told this person that I had been resharing the gossip, and they were pleased.
Okay, great.
To know this gossip, because they were wronged in the party. One of my best friends, his ex-boyfriend,
Right.
who they were kind of on okay terms, but it wasn't like particularly, it was like very up and down. And his new best friend
Yeah.
went on a date.
Right.
Which was like completely, so obviously a no-go.
Yes.
And so my friend told me that story. I had cycled to meet him at the pub. He had texted me saying, I have a treacherous tale for you.
Oh my God.
Obviously, I got on a bike, cycled. I don't even own a bike. I just found a bike.
Is it just with the mention of the word treacherous? You thought, I need to travel on a bike.
Yeah. Like a witch.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as treachery is mentioned, you can't take an Uber.
Like, do,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, exactly. You could go by hot air balloon or
Yeah.
bike. That's it. There's no other way to receive treachery.
You can't use like oil and gas.
Is
it oil? Is that how a car works?
Yeah, I get. Well, let's find an American YouTuber.
Yeah.
You want to know how a car works?
But I got to the pub and look.
Did you have an ale?
I did.
Yeah,
I had
a butterbeer, please. This guy's got
butterbeer.
treachery. Yeah.
He told me that, and I instantly got my period.
Wow.
Which was incredible. It's like my body just was dropped everything it was holding.
Yeah.
And was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Which
that-
I think shows that something in my body has like a deep need, or like it speaks to some part of me that is beyond words.
Yeah, isn't that fascinating? If you worked on Heat magazine, you'd be constantly bleeding.
Oh God, I bled out.
If you worked on TMV, you remember that? You remember that show as that guy, and they would gossip in the office about kind of Hollywood
I
stars.
don't know about that. Maybe
TMZ,
I missed the
that's
boat
it.
a little bit on when gossip was major, because I think I've
The
grown up in
noughties,
it.
and it was like, it was like what Charlotte Church has been up to.
Yes.
It's kind of this bizarre
And
obsession.
I think it was, they were playing a bit fast and loose with people's mental health in
yeah.
that time. Whereas now it's all done under the guise, I guess, of like, it's not meant to. They try and make it seem morally okay, which obviously, as a gossiper, I do think it is.
Yes.
But there's something different between gossiping within friends and publishing it online.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not pop bitch.
Yes, yes. My wife calls it nosy, nosy, nosy. That's her. So she'll say to my brother, "Have you got any nosy, nosy, nosy?"
Oh, that's good.
Which sounds like when you're out and about, she's after cocaine.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, so you got any nosy, nosy, nosy?
But if they do, then that's kind of gossip in and of itself.
Of course, yeah. My brother's very good for nosy, nosy, nosy. Yeah, he kind of, he's normally a good spiller. Do you have certain go-tos that are your great gossips? Who are the great gossips of your stand-up generation?
Ooh,
I've given you mine.
Do you know? I don't know if you. I think there are a few who would say that they don't like gossip, and I wonder if this tracks with you. A lot of them are men. I think there's a perception that gossiping is quite a female activity.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Societally.
Yeah. There's no loose men, and yet bizarrely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think like my dear friend Sunil Patel.
So I know. Yeah. Is it Sunil?
Yeah.
I thought it was Sunil.
I would say Sunil.
Well, you're right.
Because I know him.
Yeah. I only know him from he supported my friend Steve Hall a lot, who is also a phenomenal gossip. Steve Hall, how have I missed him out?
Loose lips.
Oh my lord!
Lips. These ships are being sunk.
Yeah. So Sunil.
Sunil is good, but he's one of these. I think because he's quite like a.
And he's been on that advert with Dominic West.
Yeah, well.
So yeah, okay. No,
I don't actually know anything about
all
that.
right. Yeah, sure.
But he's he does it in a way where you almost would mistake it for just passing on information.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's quite classy with it. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I have had people say, there are some people like Stuart Laws who says to me, I don't like gossip. Like, I don't want to hear any of your gossip.
Okay.
But they do. They
Yeah,
always
of course.
do. It's just about framing it in the right way for people like that.
Exactly. It's kind of like, but if you're going to be kind of, high status and say, I don't want gossip, that's another way of saying, I don't want to receive certain information. Do you know what I mean? Which seems like, if you're a stand-up, a peculiar thing to do. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, because you might not pass it on.
True, actually. I think his logic was like, I don't want to be the subject of any gossip. So
that's
this
fine.
is my moral.
Nobody wants to be the subject of gossip.
Well, I think, I kind of accept that what I'm taking from the pot, I will have to at one point put back in.
That's interesting.
I kind of think that one day this will come back to bite me in an absolutely massive way on the front page of every Daily Mail, whatever I do. But I kind of think that's life.
Sure.
Yeah. But I think it's hereditary. I think
is
gossiping is in my family.
So your dad, your mum?
I would say my dad's mum.
Okay.
But also actually my mum, do you know, I almost didn't realise that we were gossiping. I just thought that's what life was. And then you meet other people in other families and I was like, oh, you can talk about like other stuff.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary thing when the first time you kind of, go around one of your friends' houses for tea, when you're like 8 or something and you go, okay.
There's a whole other way of doing this.
Different, isn't it? Yeah, fascinating.
I think my mum, she's not super, she almost has an energy of a gossip, even about stuff that isn't gossip. She gossips to me about the plot of the shows she's watching on TV. She'll tell me the full plot of every TV show she's watching at the moment. And I'm like, I don't
also maybe
need
that's
to know.
Sure, but I wonder, you went to Cambridge, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So I wonder if, like, having a mum that gives you everyday information in a sort of conspiratorial way is a good way of making you more intelligent.
Yeah.
Because it makes it sound like you're you shouldn't know this. So your human brain is just going, I shouldn't know.
It taps into your curiosity.
Yeah. They should do that on the news.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the news shouldn't be read like that. It should be just somebody kind of looking about, just beyond, like, by a curtain. Going, you won't believe will not believe what's happened in Ukraine.
Oh God, I would be so much more engaged in the political climate if that's how they were delivering it.
But this is how it should be delivered, rather than you just have to have a little bit of kind of get my mum, get your nan.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you won't believe what's happened. He reckons, right? Listen to this. He reckons that you can get autism because of paracetamol. You know what I mean? And then instantly you're like, bang, we're here.
Yeah, every front page of every paper should be blank so that you have to turn. So you have to go, oh, what's going on in there?
Great approach. Yeah. Has that ever been tried?
It's
find ballsy.
Do you find I sometimes find with marketing, like with products and stuff, I think I'm a bit of a sucker for marketing. Like sometimes when I see an ad come up on like my Instagram or something, I go, God, well, I'm going to buy that in a week. Like I can fight it now, but it has got in my head, and I know I'm going to be buying that in a week.
Of course.
And I think sometimes the kind of approach like that, the kind of left field, like, oh, you don't actually need this, but it might, like the kind of, I don't know, playing it down a little bit really does work. It taps into that thing of me being like, well, I probably should find out about this.
Yes.
My little nosy.
Dan, where'd you stand on gossip?
Would be the worst hypocrite. Would say that I'm above it, and then would jump in every time.
Yeah.
But it's got the same hallmarks to it as addiction. So it gives you serotonin, it gives you dopamine when you receive gossip. So the brain is just wired to have it.
Yeah. Is Gossip Girl? I've never seen it, but I've heard the name. Is that based around a girl that gossips?
Yeah, it's based around a girl who...
I'm asking you because how that was so condescending. Listen, you're a woman. You must know what Gossip Girl's about. But do you know what I mean?
And unfortunately I do, so it does prove every point. It's
and
actually... I don't
hold that thought afterwards. I'm going to ask you about Gilmore Girls. But so go on.
It's about... I actually didn't finish the series. I'm not even sure if it turns out to be a girl, but it's an anonymous person who's posting gossip in New York about people's lives, which I think set a template for like quite an exciting. I think that was quite big when I was at school, that TV show.
Yeah,
and I think I expected my life to be a bit more like that.
Yes,
that there would be an omnipotent sort of anonymous source who would have an eye on everything. I guess maybe that's God for my generation. Is Gossip Girl.
Yes.
It kind of is teaching you those same values of someone is always watching, so you better be good.
Yeah. Whereas now it's just our phones.
Yeah. Do you feel like a pressure to be good because your phone is watching you?
No, but I'm so aware now that it's there. So any kind of conversation, it is that fascinating thing to the point where I like having peculiar conversations around my mum, knowing that she will then get advertised by strange things. Do you know what I mean? So I'll like go, buying any gimp suits, mother? Mother, any gimp suits for mum? Stop saying that. And then sure enough.
Gimp suits Amazon.
Exactly. And then before you know it, she's being inundated with latex. Okay, great start. I'm fully on board.
Best word for gossip?
Best word for gossip? Go on.
I think you'll like this as a fan of words. Scuttlebutt.
Ooh.
And the best piece of gossip that I found ahead of this is that the daughter of a very famous person is a bully just like their mother.
Straight in. All my neurons fired at the same time. I was like, I've got to figure it out. Like,
Okay.
Wonder if we'll have to cut that.
I don't know.
Surely nothing a few
But see that
bleeps can't
see
solve.
here's the snag though. Here is the snag with gossip. I now believe that,
This is the problem.
and it may be bollocks. So that is the pickle. Listen. Obviously, I received the gossip. I'm glad to get it.
Yeah.
But therein lies the snag, because she might not be. But now I will forever think she is.
Yeah.
Strange, isn't it? And there'll come a moment I might see her in the future, and she'll behave quite pleasantly, and I'll be like, well, there
That's
you go.
not the real you. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Or no, Dan got it wrong. She's actually quite pleasant. Because my son dropped a toy and she picked it up. Maybe.
She's hanging out with your son.
She's hanging out with my son. Maybe she's turning my son into a bully.
It does definitely have its downsides, but I think as Dan said, the serotonin and the dopamine hits are just, you can't argue with them.
Yeah.
Like I found out that two of my friends in the friend group I was in a few years ago, two of them were sleeping together behind everyone's back. Or not like behind everyone's back, but like secretly. And when I found out, I genuinely for a month was just, it's like I'd had a double espresso for, like, I was so alive. Like, you can see me now, like I'm buzzing just with the idea of it. But people have stopped telling me gossip because I'm bravely and openly talking about gossip and how good it is.
Sure, yeah.
People now, I'm noticing less is coming my way because they know it's going to get passed on.
I was just checking as well. If you were wearing white trousers, I'd never tell you a piece of gossip. So what is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing is liquids.
Okay. Right. Pretty vague.
It is pretty vague. To be honest, I think it's just more something that is true to me rather than something. Hold on. Let me explain this a bit better.
Okay.
I love liquids.
Sure.
I always have like 3 drinks on the go.
That's
ideal moment.
Sure.
I don't know if you've had this with anything, but this was something that I thought was like a very core, unique part of my personality. And I was backstage at a gig with my I usually have like a fun drink, like a kombucha or something.
Sure.
You've got one lurking in the back.
This.
Oh, you've got 4. Oh my God.
Yeah, sure.
The student has become the master.
Flex.
Yeah, exactly. But go on, carry on. Carry on with your silly little stuff.
So I was backstage with like my fun drink, usually a hot drink and then a water.
Yeah.
And Felicity Ward was like, "Oh, ADHD."
Right.
And I was like, is there anything part of my authentic self, or is it all a diagnosis for something else?
Oh, well, that's interesting because that is the world that we now live in. Everything has a name.
Yeah.
Whereas before it kind of was like, oh no, she's got lots of drinks. But that's the snag, isn't it? That it's kind of like, as soon as somebody points you towards something, you go, okay, let's have a little swim down this river.
Yeah.
So have you got ADHD?
I don't know. I haven't. I've been on a waiting list for about 100 yees.
Yeah.
Still waiting. I'm sort of not rushing to find out because I actually want to feel more unique.
Yeah, totally. But because I did the test, and a friend of my wife's, he got diagnosed and that, and then my wife was just asking him questions at work, and then everything that came up, my wife was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I sort of did the test and it was like, ding, 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 ding. And they kind of give you tablets, and then I sort of took them and did 2 gigs, and the gigs were terrible. And I was like, fuck that. So I would rather have my brain than a regulated mind for the work that we do.
Yeah.
It just seems a bit, I don't know.
I know.
I don't need to keep myself on track.
I think that's really true. And I think that I feel like there's a bit of a stereotype of like, oh, every comedian has ADHD. But it's like, but that's probably because none of us could work in an office because of that. Like, it's not that I think people think that because comedians are talking about it, that they're like overrepresenting it. But I think it's like, actually, this very specific path in life is probably going to tend to people who struggle to sit at a desk all day.
Yes.
But yeah, I actually had an audience. I had an audience member once bring me some ADHD medication.
Oh dear! Don't take that. That sounds such a Gen Z way of trying to spike someone's drink, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Of like, I think you might have this. Oh, thanks for suddenly you change to a radiator.
But really focused on it.
Yeah, but you're going to escape. What a weird thing to do.
It was quite strange. I mean, I didn't.
Kind of
I don't
sweet,
mind.
but still, you didn't take the medicine, did you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, well, it was in a packet. And the thing is that this is, oh God, people, please, if you're listening to this, please don't spike me now. You know how easy it is. I really don't want to be spiked.
It's so interesting though, isn't it? But again, not to sort of stereotype, but how the world has changed.
Yeah.
The audience member, I remember people slinging like mushrooms on stage for me to take. And we're now at a stage where they're giving, sort of medicine that will help with mental health.
Yeah.
How the heckles change.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What a subtle heckle.
Fuck off your shit to, I think this could help you and make you even funnier. What a lovely thing.
Yeah, it was quite sweet actually. But my love of liquids is...
Yes, you're right. Let's move it back to this.
I feel like a huge part of my life is the cup amnesty and the mug amnesty.
Right.
Like every part of my day, all through growing up, this has been throughout my life to modern day, right now, 2025, is throughout the day I collect mugs,
right,
fill them with tea, whatever, bring them to my room, sort of like create this den, like a bear hibernating, and then at the end of the day or at the end of the couple of days I like return them all to the kitchen.
Yes.
And I think that's the cycle that my life is on. Like rather than the 24-hour clock, I'm on the mug cycle.
Yeah, I see that, yes.
And I think it drives everyone insane.
But I completely see that.
Would you do that as well?
Yeah, but I think they're also, so let's say you're writing or let's say you're writing comedy or whatever. If you have a coffee, a fun drink and a water, in a way that means you will be in the room for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Rather than, so you're
exactly.
but you're prepping, essentially. It's
you're
kind
going
of like,
underground.
Yeah, and you sort of say, I can stay here for a bit because I know I've got my selection of fluids rather than having to go back and forth all the time.
I think...
This is insane. You're just affirming each other's... This is crazy.
This is an echo chamber.
But just because you're a bucking camel
who
doesn't need...
No. What you just said makes sense. But what you've obviously omitted there is the bit where you've gone back to the kitchen for the new hot drink. You didn't take your mug back.
Yeah, I didn't.
Why didn't... Yeah, you didn't.
I didn't.
Why not?
I left it there.
Same. Yeah, but because it's my office. You want to stay out my office, right? Because
Why didn't you put
whatever...
your mug back?
You shut up. You might be first, but there's plenty of other mugs.
No, there's not.
Well,
There's loads. I bought loads of mugs. All right, you do your work, I'll do mine.
You can drink out of a glass.
Yeah.
You feel it? Can you feel how you're both getting madder and madder?
Yeah.
You never put your mouth near a tap? Drink like a rabbit, I'm thinking.
You're playing the character of my mum.
I'm just being a human being.
Yeah, no, but it's... I know what you mean, but it's... I don't know. I see that. I see Ania's logic.
I think I've picked up quite a few weird habits food-wise from my dad. My dad is quite a interesting food eater in that he's both at the same time. He's kind of one of these people who like doesn't care about food and maybe would swap all his meals for a pill if given the chance. That type of like he once asked me if I had a discount code for Huel. And unfortunately I did.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when I was gigging.
Again, the world is so different. I love it.
Yeah. When I was quite new, working like in central London till quite late and then going to do gigs, I thought I'm going to have to get on Huel because I don't want to keep spending money on dinner. So I would bring a Huel to the office and make it, and then it would be so upsetting that I'd drink it all and then instantly have a full meal. So I was gaining weight for sure.
Yeah. That is the pickle with that stuff. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
so depressing.
Yeah, it's essentially just a healthy pudding that you're having before your meal.
It's pancake batter. It's raw pancake batter.
It is.
Which you're drinking with a straw in an office in Clerkenwell.
What's funny about it is that I did the Diary of the CEO, and because it's his company, they give you all of it. Oh. So they give you every single variety of fuel you can imagine, and then it sits in your cup and you slowly make your way through it. But you're right. it's impossible not to have your tea after you've had fuel.
It is a challenge. I think, I don't know. This was quite a while ago. I'm sure it's probably improved now, but it was pancake batter, which, to be honest, I don't mind pancake batter.
What is your favourite liquid?
Oh, I think I love at the moment, it's got to be a chai latte.
Okay.
Which is basically, I think, like a baby drink for adults. Because babies drink hot milk, as far as I'm aware.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Baby chinos.
Baby chinos. I'm having the adult baby chino, which is hot milk and a touch of cinnamon. And I think that's very autumnal.
I agree with that. Yeah, it definitely, it's kind of when you see, I've never had one, but I get excited vicariously when I see people order a pumpkin spice latte.
Yes, yeah.
Because you think that looks like you're really enjoying the time that you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want one? Absolutely not.
No, God no.
But yeah, I went through a sort of spate of having the chai tea lattes, and they are good, but they're very hard to just have one.
Yeah.
That's
God,
the
yeah.
pickle that you're then kind of having loads.
You're mainlining. And they do have caffeine in. But what I will say is that my dad is, and I think I am in this space as well, would swap all food for a pill or a drink, but also have an incredibly sweet tooth.
Right.
And those things are always butting
Fighting.
up against each other.
I see that, yeah.
And my dad did a degree in engineering, and I would say he like takes the engineer's brain and sort of brings it into the kitchen. And like a lot of my childhood was spent with him sort of asking questions. He always said, like, if we had a family crest or like a family motto, the motto would be "Let's find out." And so his logic would be something like, why don't they make trifles with peanut butter? Let's find out.
Oh.
And then we're making a trifle with peanut butter and it's claggy.
Yeah. But
It's also a good catchphrase for a gossip.
Let's find out. Oh my God. Maybe that's, wow. This is quite a deep podcast.
Is there a show where you find out gossip whilst trying to make new foods? And
yes,
does that show not go absolutely mad? That's the biggest show in the world, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Do commissioners
We're going to make Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah.
We're going to make Yorkshire puddings with jam and ham. And we're going to be talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Okay. That's the biggest show in the world.
We're going to be making a Dr. Zeus meal.
Yeah, chicken shop hate.
Yeah.
It's just people. It's so weird. My dad's got a degree in engineering. Isn't this odd? We have strange similarities. I've never worn a tie as an adult. That's the only difference.
Maybe after this, that's what will change in your life. You'll wake up tomorrow morning with the tie around your neck, not knowing how it's got there.
Yeah, but my wife will look at me and go, who do you think you...
They're kind of, I would say, not to return too much to the tie, but they are almost coming back in the way of like, I think you could probably do t-shirt and tie now.
Imagine that. Wouldn't that be fun? Not for you, Dan?
Oh, God.
As you're piping up, you pernickety young man.
Hello.
What? Have you got any other liquid-based?
Well, you're both obviously mostly liquid, which I think is why you feel such an affinity with it.
Ah.
Newborn.
You must, I was just thinking, you must love that scene in Amelie when she just dissipates.
Oh God, I haven't seen that for ages.
Yeah, but she literally...
Does she become liquid?
She becomes liquid because she's kind of flustered.
That's relatable.
Be a good poster.
Baby is 75% water,
Oh.
which is a little bit more than a banana, a little bit less than a potato.
What do you mean a little bit more than a banana?
As a percentage of moisture.
Only a little bit more?
It's a little bit more than a banana, a little bit less than a potato.
Yeah. Well, imagine if your nurse described your child like that. You'd be like,
is it a boy or a girl?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're not doing gender anymore.
Yeah.
It's between potato and
That's
banana.
that. You're just ringing up your parents. We've had a potato. I don't know what to do.
We've had a carb.
Yeah. What is your next brilliant thing, Anya?
My next brilliant thing. My next brilliant thing. Oh gosh, that sounded hard.
Right on the knuckles. Yeah.
My next brilliant thing is Cats, the musical.
Oh, Cats the musical.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
caveated that.
Yeah, sure.
I love Cats the animal as well, but I think it started with Cats the musical.
Okay.
I watched Cats the musical.
How old?
I think the video, the VHS of it, when I was maybe, I think 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 every night.
Okay.
It was like the thing that I needed my mum to put on for me to relax.
Right.
And I just formed like, I don't really know what the actual medical term is, but my reference point is the Twilight films. Don't know if you're familiar.
Yes.
The werewolf imprints. That's how they kind of find their soulmate, is like they imprint on another being. And that's how I feel like I imprinted on Cats the Musical. And I'm sort of locked in with it. Even though now as an adult I've rewatched it and it's not quite what I remembered. Have you seen it?
No, yes, but I'm intrigued. Can I just go back slightly? So how does a werewolf find its soulmate? By imprinting? Like
something just happens and it's like, okay, that's it. It's not a conscious choice. A werewolf like imprints on, well, in this case it is a baby. In the books,
right?
The werewolf imprints on a baby.
What touches a baby?
No, sorry. It's like it's not physical. It's like biological.
Gotcha.
I guess.
Okay. Consequence for the baby.
Has to marry the werewolf when it grows up.
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, in retrospect, it's quite an edgy plotline to be putting in a YA novel, isn't it? It's sort of werewolf pedo crossover.
Yeah.
Fantastic books.
What? So I've never seen the video of Cats the Musical. I've seen Cats the Musical live. Me and John Richardson went to watch it, and John was a huge fan, and he'd seen it many times before. I'd never seen. We watched it together, and I have never felt more sorry for human beings because I just thought it's no one's dream to pretend to be a cat. That's kind of what. No, I felt so. I've never felt sadder for anyone. And John was like, it's about the poetry of T.S. Eliot, you twat, you're not. And I was just going, yeah, but look at that.
What I will say is that I'm not on John's side. I'm not thinking it's about the poetry of T.S. Eliot.
Right.
That's like, I would say, an intellectualization of, for me, it's just like, this is fun.
Yes.
It's fun to watch adults on stage dressed up as cats. And I guess I hear what you're saying. That's something I've learned to say from therapy. I hear what you're saying, but I do think they're having fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
They look like they're loving it being dressed up.
100%.
And I would say getting something sexual out of it sometimes.
Yeah, well, yeah. And it's funny, isn't it? Because, like, I think this often around Halloween, like, if you see a woman dressed as a cat, it is hot.
There's something, what is that?
But I know, but I've never looked at a cat and gone, I'd fuck that. Like, it's strange.
You heard it here first?
Yep, exactly.
That's the gossip I will be spreading.
Yeah, who doesn't want to fuck cats? No.
Because I've spoken about Cats the Musical once before on a podcast, and someone who follows me on Instagram said, oh, my mum was in Cats the Musical.
Oh, wow.
And sent me, like, the original production.
Yeah.
She sent me some photos that her mum has from backstage at Cats. And
they're all burying their shit.
Yeah. They're all in the litter boxes.
Yeah.
They all look like they're all just like having cigarette smoking in these full cat outfits. And it looks really fun. But I guess I should maybe explain the reason that I loved it growing up. Hard to say when you're that young. I think sometimes something just you get imprinted. Also, my parents were getting divorced.
Right.
There's probably something of an emotional crutch going on there.
Yes.
In the cat's world. Also, I think probably the Rum Tum Tugger. Don't know if you... don't laugh when I say the Rum Tum Tugger. That's not a good start.
What is the Rum Tum Tugger?
Well, really, who is the Rum Tum Tugger?
Apologies.
Sorry to pick you up on that.
That's okay.
But he's the kind of... in Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals, there's usually a sort of like almost Elvis-like character who's... So in Starlight Express, it's the train... It's one of the trains.
Yes.
In Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, it's the Pharaoh.
Right.
I'm not a big musicals person, by the way, so I don't know if any of your listeners are, but they might think I'm doing this disservice. There's probably loads better examples. I just like the ones that I like, which is Cats and Hamilton.
Yes.
But yeah, the Rum Tum Tugger is a sort of like sexy cat, and he well, actually, the lyrics go, the Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat.
Okay.
And all the cats love him. And in the original VHS that I watched, which I did a screening of for my 27th birthday, I hired out a cinema and screened it. Best birthday party I've ever done.
Did you have any guests? Or?
No, just me and the staff.
Yeah.
I said, let's give you a true education in cinema. I invited my friends, and do you know what? I'll finish my thoughts on the Rum Tum Tugger, which is that he does a song where he sort of like he moves his hips around, like almost like he gyrates his hips, and there are all the girl cats sitting, and as the hips come towards them, they get like knocked out by the force of his crotch.
Right. I got that.
Which is fantastic choreography.
Yeah.
But I did this birthday screening. So I love to have like parties. I think I'm a natural host up until the party starts, at which point I go, oh God, is everyone having fun? And that's all I can ask people all night is, are you having fun?
Sure.
Is this the best party you've ever been
Yes.
to? Say it is, say it is, say it is.
Okay.
So I had this new idea, which is instead of having like drinks at a venue, was hire out cinema. I hired out a nice cinema called The Castle in Stoke Newington, which has like a very small screen for like 27 people. And
How much does that cost?
it was about 400 quid.
Okay, so it's a lot, but it's not mental.
It's not
Because
insane.
it's funny, isn't it? In my head, I was going, you find out a cinema must have cost loads, but yeah, like I guess if you're doing a big party, that isn't.
That's your Coke budget for a normal party.
Yeah, compared to like bar and everything,
Yeah.
it was actually quite reasonable.
Did they buy their own popcorn or?
Yeah. Oh
fine.
God, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone.
I'm not.
Yeah, just-
I'm not Moneybags McGee.
No, I didn't know much.
But I think it was really because I also would say that I like going to parties and stuff, but I do sometimes feel like nervous about it. I think like everyone, the Cats musical party was the best because everyone was going into it being like, "What the fuck is this?" And so everyone had a common enemy, which was the fact that I was screening Cats the musical, and it felt like everyone had something to talk about. So and people during the screening of it, it's not. I say this with love to the form. It's not plot heavy.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was your experience watching it. It feels actually incredibly light on any plot or character stuff. So people were kind of chatting and talking over it and like saying funny things about halfway through. And she meant this completely sincerely. A cat came on screen and Lara Rakote, who's a really funny comedian, was like, "Is that a mouse?" And it was like, no, the one thing about this musical is that they are all cats. There's no mice involved.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fun. And then afterwards, everyone had something to talk about, which was cats.
Where did you sit in the cinema? Down the front? Or?
I sat at the back.
Yeah, makes sense.
I sat at the back
So you
so that my
watch
voice could go over everyone with all my funny comments that I was making. And I think, it was interesting. There were some open-minded people in that cinema who quite enjoyed it, and there were some people who came in closed and left closed-minded.
Right. Okay. How long is it?
It's 2 hours, and it feels like 2 hours.
So what time did the screening start?
I think it started at 3 till 5.
Oh, well, there you go. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then you've got the whole... And
then
you've
the
got
whole evening
well,
to
there
get
you go.
drunk and forget what you've seen.
That's fine. Yeah, and then it gives you a starting point. I like that. I think that's great.
I think unconventional parties... I had a trampolining party once at the age of like 24.
Okay.
Because I said that and I think you probably thought, at the age of 6.
Well, like as in you went to one of those kind of soft play...
Yeah, but my birthday's actually... I didn't realise this. As I kind of forgot this as an adult, but my birthday is in half term.
Ooh,
so it was filled with children.
Yeah.
And I instantly got a black eye. I tried to do a front flip and my head got caught in the like liminal space between the edge of the trampoline and the ring and the rings.
Yes.
And I got a black eye.
Yeah,
within 2 minutes of being there.
I've only ever done it once, but you can get all sorts of injuries. What I would say is I like the idea of having a pre-party before a party, and it's going to be 27 people that love you, so it's going to be interesting for them to see something you love.
Yeah.
So I think there's something really cool about that.
I think that's kind of the idea, is that like I knew those people well enough to feel okay doing that. Like it is a bit of a vulnerable thing to do, in the sense that I think everyone took it in good spirits, even if they were taking the piss out of it. But no one was genuinely like, I'm really annoyed. I spent my afternoon doing that.
Of course, exactly.
But I also I'm into the pre-party. One of the actual kind of parties I had a pre-party where I got some friends to come and just like have the cake with me. And we got, I'm a big fan of Colin the Caterpillar. It's not one of my things, but only because I've talked about it so often that I actually think maybe give it a break.
What is Colin the Caterpillar?
Sorry?
Yeah.
What?
I honestly don't know.
Colin the Caterpillar is an M&S product.
Right.
That is chocolate cake, long, brown, like ribbed for her pleasure.
Yeah.
Smarties across the back sort of thing.
Yes.
White chocolate face, white chocolate feet.
Right.
British icon.
Okay.
And M&S had the original one, but then Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, they all do their own knockoff brands called like Cuthbert or Conrad or something.
Cuthbert, Morris, Wiggles, Letty, Cecil and Slinky.
There you go.
Wow.
And they are my favourite cake.
Okay.
And they're traditionally, I would say, like a child's birthday party cake. But this might be a bit hard to visualise if you don't know exactly what it is, but the shape, the kind of long tubes, and he has like his butt is like a little bit smaller and comes out at the end. But for my party, we got 3, chopped the heads off and made one really long one.
Okay. Wow.
Like a sort of human centipede.
What? So was this at the same party as Cats?
No, this was a few years before.
I was going to say, Jesus Christ. They're at this party going, does this lady like any animal that doesn't begin with a C? This is insane.
A couple of follow-up questions on Cats. Firstly, your opinion on the 2019 version with Ray Winston and Idris Elba.
Oh, God, do you know what? Like, I don't like slagging stuff off, but I did think that was really disappointing.
Nobody liked it.
It wasn't good. Do you know who did like it? My mum. We went to the cinema to watch it together, and I think she liked it because it reminded her of my childhood. But when a cat has, and I know we've kind of talked about how women can be sexy as cats, but they were doing cats as sexy women actually, because the cats, if they were female cats, they did have boobs, and if they were a male cat, they did have a bulge. And I just think that's taking away from some of the childhood innocence of this film.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, true. Yeah.
And what I will say as well is that this will mean nothing to you, but the magical Mr. Mistopheles, the way they rewrote that character, I thought didn't work. Also,
how did they rewrite it?
They made him very shy. He's a magician cat,
Right.
and in the stage show, he does a big magic trick, and he comes down from the ceiling on a wire, and he brings back old Deuteronomy, who's been lost because McCavity has captured him. But in the musical film, they make him very shy, which is not his persona.
Yeah, if he's a descender.
Yeah, exactly. You
exactly.
can't shyly descend from the ceiling being like, oh God, this is a bit cringe, isn't it?
Look at Bon Jovi up there, the bloody wallflower. Do you know what I mean?
But do you know there was a version of that film which they tested on audiences where they had buttholes? Like all the actors had they had like cat buttholes.
What a great job. What an
Yeah.
insane job that is.
But then the audience said we don't like the buttholes, so they had to remove all the buttholes. So somewhere there's a butthole edit of
So
cats.
hang on. So what, they CGI'd the buttholes out?
Yeah.
That's so
But the
funny.
audience were like, I think if you just get rid of the buttholes, this is a work of genius.
But maybe the buttholes, because it's that thing. The problem with a butthole on a dog, on any kind of animal, is that the problem with it is you can't not see it, and it's like, sometimes you got those awful dogs where their tail is up, and so you've just got like, if they're white, it looks like
God,
Santa
I know
blowing
exactly.
a kiss. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, oh my God, but you're not. You can't then concentrate on how bad the film is because you're like, I can't stop looking at that cat's ass.
And that cat is also J-Lo,
Yeah.
which does add
Yeah, she's got this weird little kind of like, oh God.
Is that Tay-Tay's starfish?
What is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing is the Notes app on my phone.
Yep, phenomenal thing. If you're a stand-up, one of the great useful tools. It's also hilarious when you go back and you look at the notes you've made and you realise you're mental.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mine is.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Get them out.
Let's have a look at our last.
The thing about my Notes app is that it is both a collection of stand-up ideas, shopping lists, like ideas for how I'm going to live my life, and also like messages that I'm writing out to send to people to like talk about my feelings.
That's what I love. It's like, oh, look, it's a Chinese takeaway there. And then, so what is your last?
I've just got one that just says bin.
Okay, fine. Fine.
That's one. Let me give you a few Oh, and then I have an idea for some stand-up about which I didn't manage to turn into anything, which is about. Why did I pick this?
No pressure. Go on. We can work this. We can get it going.
Something about how I was trying to get a bit of stand-up to work about how when I think people talk about bushes, i.e. pubic bushes, they don't like it's in this day and age what they're talking about is not a proper bush.
Yes.
I don't know actually. Also, this is new, but I saw that Kim Kardashian, I think this can't be real, but she has released thongs that have a bush on them.
What, an outer bush?
Yeah, or like to give you the appearance of having a bush.
Oh my God.
When you don't.
Right.
Are you checking if that's real?
What a stretch.
Skims, isn't it?
Yeah.
What? But so people would look and go, oh wow, she's got a bush, and then presumably go, there is no bush,
and then whip it off.
Yeah.
So they get to feel like the waxer in a way.
But it's like just walking around with like a fake moustache.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just seems so. That's
oh my God, yes.
So is that like an updated version of the Merkin?
Yes, the collection of furry underwear comes in 12 colours, ranging from black to white, and every imaginable shade in between.
What a bizarre.
Every imaginable shade but 12.
Yeah,
but 12
10,
of them.
10 between the black and the white.
So go on. So what is your bit of stand-up?
So my bit of stand-up was basically saying that like I feel like when I see influencers online posting about saying like, oh, I'm proud of my body hair, I've got my bush, but it's only ever the tiniest one strand of hair coming out of their bikini. And I had a joke that was sort of saying, well, if it was a true bush, you shouldn't be able to see the house behind them.
Yes.
It should be taking up all that space.
Yes.
And then I wanted to bring it into, because I'm half Italian, I thought maybe like there's something about my Italian heritage that makes me think the bush is bigger than it was. And then I've just written down, and this is why it stayed in the notes, like a pizza, the Italian version is thicker.
Yes.
Which isn't like a pizza, so that's why it stayed in the notes.
Fine.
But you kind of get what I was getting at.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's something in there, isn't there?
So what you're effectively trying to say is, what's the poetry behind, like, if you were to do that, your bush would be bigger because of your lineage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And thicker.
Yes.
And better. And like when you eat a pizza in Italy, you're like, this is the home of this.
Yeah, it's more flamboyant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What have I got?
It's such a great. I love it because it's just unless you have a little small notebook, like sort of a Columbo-esque one where you can just scribble it down. You just lose all these thoughts.
I think sometimes if you look at an idea like too directly, it can like evaporate, and you kind of like need it in the side space or like bubbling away in your subconscious, like somewhere else. And I just love my notes app. I'm always like, I'm writing in it at like 3 a.m. I always wake up with like something. If I'm in the middle of developing a show or something like I am at the moment, I'll wake up like wide awake at 3 with loads of ideas, and I'll just have to write. And that's the thing, like you say, like unless you have a little notebook, the phone is really good for that. Otherwise you have to sort of turn on the lamp.
Yes, exactly.
And start writing like a scribe.
When you write, do you write with a notepad? Do you write with your laptop? How does it work?
I have quite a specific system to write anything new or brainstorming ideas. I write with a tablet called a Remarkable, which is like a sort of e-tablet, which I just got because my dad got given it by his work and then he didn't want it, but now I've become quite attached to it. So it feels like writing on paper, but it's a screen, and I just have that because I can carry it everywhere, and so it's got like hundreds and hundreds of pages of just free writing, and I do that every morning. I free write for like 3 pages worth. Then I have a notebook, which is like my show notebook where I write in hand like the ideas for the routines. And then I have like a gig notebook where they go into bullet points for taking it to the gig. Yeah. And then it goes onto the laptop, and I would type it up to like
crystallize.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What about you?
It's sort of like a range of. I don't have the Remarkable thing, but it's a similar thing where I kind of when I was doing the TV show, I'd write on a laptop. And then stand-up, I would kind of always write by hand. And apparently, I'm reading this. There's an amazing book called Deep Work by a guy called Cal Newport.
Oh,
it's really interesting.
Yes, I've heard of that.
And that within it, that your memory is tied to, so it's easier to memorize stuff if you've written it by hand than if you've typed it, because apparently there's something in the that you, I don't know, you're physically creating it that helps you.
I think that's true.
And I wonder if, because I sort of think back to, I've written reams and reams of stuff on laptops and never been able to kind of get it in my head, and then you kind of write it on a piece of paper and it
goes in.
It clicks instantly. It's weird, isn't it?
I think there's something like, I find it harder. I find I'm more likely to get writer's block, whatever way that manifests, if I'm looking at like a laptop screen. It's almost easier to stop typing. Whereas once you're sort of free, once you're writing, once you're going, you just kind of go. And I think like most of my, I am really interested at the moment in like other ways of writing, because to me, I've always been like, sit down at a desk and write and get your hours in that way, and very like academic. But I found when I did a work in progress of the tour that I will be touring next year. I did it in Edinburgh.
Where can we get tickets for that?
AniaMagliano.com.
Yep.
And also, as of today, AniaMagliano.co.uk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
International. Sure. Well, it's the other way.
Yeah.
I'm getting smaller.
Sure.
But I would listen to the previous day's show. I would listen to it on the way in as I was walking in.
Always painful.
So painful.
Always useful.
And so useful. It's definitely the thing that I do that has the biggest impact on my work, that I do the least.
Yes.
Like, I always struggle to do it, but I force myself to do it every day. And I would just come up with so many, and that was going in the notes app as I was listening, walking in, like loads and loads of new jokes. But it's funny, I almost still would feel like, oh, I haven't done any work that day because I was walking instead of sitting at a desk.
Yep. No, but you're right, because you're sort of, particularly then, there's something, because you're then able to edit rather than create.
Yeah.
And it's so easy. It's the easiest thing in the world to edit someone else's joke for some reason. You know, you watch somebody and you go, oh, you should just do that. And they're like, what? But it is that weird, it's quite difficult to detach from your own brain, your own construction.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, no, that's the way the story goes.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like, well, you don't need to do that bit.
Yeah.
Just move that and put it there. But it's so funny, isn't it? Like, useful advice is always the most obvious thing. And you're like, well, why didn't I think about that? You know.
Right now, I would say like every day I'm like, as soon as I have a spiral, I'll be spiraling out for like 40 minutes being like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm the worst person in the world, and then I just have a glass of water and I'm like, okay, it's not so bad. Like, it's always have a glass of water, go for a walk in nature, you're a bit tired, you're a bit hungry. It's actually, and like, I go to therapy so much, and it's like, if I probably just stayed on top of those 4 things, I maybe wouldn't need a therapist.
Why do you go to therapy so much, do you think? Is that a horrible question to ask?
No, it's not. I'm just laughing because I don't right now, but there was a time where I did have 4 therapists.
Did you?
I just got a bit carried away.
Were you doing them on 4 different days, or?
Yeah, well, 4. I would spread them over the month. I think if you're doing
together?
it 4 times, I would love in the room together, so that they can all sort of like a F1 pit stop.
Here's a question: has that been tried?
What?
Do you know what I mean? Of multiple therapists, you
Just
can get a double massage. I've never had it, but the idea of that would be good.
I basically had a really tough year in 2019. Had a lot going on. Kind of did therapy to help with that, and then
luckily COVID came along and
It
helped
was,
everything.
it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then but that therapy was over Zoom because of COVID, actually.
Right.
And then after a while, she kind of said, I think maybe you need to see someone in person to help, like, because I guess there was an element where the fact that it was over Zoom, I did feel like I could keep some stuff from her. Yeah. You know, there were times where I would, like, not want her to see that I was crying.
Right.
So you could just go off camera.
Yeah.
But that's kind of not really the point of therapy. I think the point of therapy is to be able to like cry in front of someone. So then I was like, I kind of think she's right. And then I was trying to find new therapists. But I think like maybe a lot of the resistance people have to therapy is that it can be quite hard to find a therapist who you click with. So I met a few different ones. And then for a while I was like, maybe I'll just keep all of them, because it's like having a board.
Yes.
Who are designing my life.
Yeah.
Not that they're meant to give you advice, but then one of them one of them I did get rid of because he kept kissing me on the cheek.
Okay. What, like multiple times throughout the evening?
Yeah, every time I was sad.
But I was going to say that would be
Cheer up, love.
That would be the worst thing. You know, well, you know, my parents divorced. Was imagine that. but if they did it with such confidence, that your brain would go, well, I guess this is right.
Well, I kind of was like that for like 4 weeks. I was like, I guess this is his practice.
Oh no! What is the final brilliant thing?
My final brilliant thing is a good haircut.
Okay. Yep.
Love it. I think one of the main things that can make me feel good. If you need to pick me up, I think you just need to go get a good haircut. Conversely, I think a bad haircut can completely destroy and bulldoze your life. I had one a few years ago that I would say I've recovered from fully now. You raised your eyebrows like, no, you haven't.
Well, you said I think, so it's clearly traumatic.
It's very traumatic. I looked like a mushroom. They cut off my hair to above my ears. And obviously, if you're only listening to this, like just know that won't look good on me. I promise you it didn't look good. And what I will say is that I went to a new hairdresser. I went to like a curly hair specialist. I'm making air quotes. But the person who I saw was a bald man.
Right.
Which...
it feels like a red flag, doesn't it?
It does feel like a red flag, but I guess there was part of me that kind of thought maybe he's bald because he wants to focus on other people's hair, like a monk.
Yep.
Like he's sort of gone, I'm not going to have any hair just so I can give everything to other people's hair.
Yeah. It's like a sex therapist who's a eunuch.
Yeah, exactly. Which I do have. That's one of my four.
Of course, yeah.
What seems to be the problem today?
Yeah.
And he was wearing a cap as well. So the bald wasn't quite on show, but it was something that I figured out during the process.
Right.
And I will say, I'm not the easiest person to have my hair cut because what happens is I go into the hairdresser and they say, like, what do you want? And I say, I have a photo. Because you can't say, I want you to make me look I want you to make me look hot, which is the truth. It's like, just make me look really amazing.
Yeah, that's the truth, isn't
just
it?
Sort
it's
it
like
out.
It's like when you go to the gym and they're like, what are you trying to get out of this? I want to look great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, general fitness really. It's like, you know.
I want to feel less tired throughout the day. No, I just want to look banging.
Who is the photo of? Is it of you or is it?
No, oh God, no.
I want to look like this. Yeah. But
it will be of a woman who's like got completely different hair colour, texture, different face shape.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the thing. I think growing up, I thought I'm showing these women because I want to look like them. Whereas now I'm like, I just fancied those women. Right. So I was just sort of doing like a show and tell to the hairdresser of being like, this is a woman I fancy.
Right. And who would these women be?
Someone from the cast of Glee.
Okay.
A girl called, her character's called Quinn Fabray. She has blonde, straight hair. And I'd show it to the hairdresser and be like, so I guess let's agree she's fit. Now will you cut my hair?
Yeah, okay, fine.
But I didn't know that at the time. I thought I was being like, maybe I could look like this.
Right.
I can't remember I don't think I brought in a reference for this particularly bad haircut. I think I just said, like, take a little bit off the ends and maybe cut out any of the bits that are a bit dry. And he went in, like, scissors next to my ears.
Right.
And this was like, you know, a fancy hair salon. I didn't feel comfortable. I just thought, what an interesting technique.
Yes.
This must be part of a process that is going to lead me to somehow having longer hair. It was so bad. I mean, I can probably show you a photo, but I guess that would be perhaps lost on the listeners. But just imagine, like, it was uneven on each side. And have you seen Fleabag season 2 where she gets a really bad haircut? It was sort of like the curly version of that.
Right.
Almost. Obviously, I paid in full and tipped him.
So what did you do did you then go out and find another hairdresser immediately?
No, because I was like, I can't lose any more. Like, if they take off any more.
Right.
I texted my friend a photo and said, I'm going to kill myself. Right. And she replied saying,
don't.
Please
don't. You're going to look ridiculous in the coffin.
Well, yeah, she said your ghost will look awful with that haircut, which is not actually what you need to hear.
No, but if you will surround yourself with funny friends.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
You would have said exactly the same.
Yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth. So I think since then, every good haircut that I get, and now I have a great hairdresser who I have a good relationship with, who will talk me down if she thinks I'm. Sometimes I think I can play out stresses in my life by being like, okay, I'm quite stressed at the moment. I think what I need is to cut all my hair off and dye it a different color. But now I've got a hairdresser who knows me so well that she can say, maybe not, maybe let's just change where your parting is and see if that shakes it up for you. And I feel so held by that relationship in my life. These 4 therapists, absolutely nothing compared to Phoebe. So I think it's always a pick-me-up. But I don't know, do you have that relationship with a haircut? Would it make you feel sharp, or would it make you feel like a bit shit? Sometimes I think men can feel a bit bad after the haircut, and then in a few days it kind of settles on their head and there you go.
Yeah, well, so I always have, like, I just have my hair cut short these days, and whenever it's cut short, I'm instantly aware of how simian I am. Like
a sim?
No, a monkey.
Oh.
Like, so I have just this kind of instant of my hair short. It's kind of, I just look like an ape, and that's fine because that's what I look like. The thing I've noticed, and this is the real game changer and also risky, because I'm of a vintage now, that my nasal hair and my kind of eyebrow hair are just chaotic. So, you know, I would put your Italian bush against my kind of Norse eyebrows. What different dyes have you had? Is it always kind of red, or what other colours you have?
I've had every colour. I've had blonde, I've had different shades of red, I've had black, I've had silver.
Have you?
When I was 16, I like snuck away to London and went to a hairdresser and dyed my hair silver. And obviously my mum was like, what the fuck have you done? And it didn't really work. Like, it faded quite quickly. So I think I kind of had white for a bit after that. And I would do it myself as well in the bathroom at home and stain all our towels. Because you could get these little bottles from Superdrug that were just like...
Was it Schwartz or something like that?
Those were the fancier ones. I just got the Superdrug own brand semi-permanent hair dye and would do it, get all the towels fucked.
Yeah.
But now I've kind of like... I always go red-ish or like coppery, and...
What is your natural colour?
Brown.
So what do you think that is? Why not let it...
I don't know. Do you know, I sometimes feel like, I wish... My dream would be to get a part in something where I had to have brown hair, and then I could have brown hair for a bit and see if it felt more natural. But I've just gone down this path, and I think it feels more maybe like it suits my personality, or like people have always told me that it suits me a lot.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Thank you. People don't know that it's not natural a lot of the time. People think that it is natural.
Yes.
There's something a bit more fun about it, I think, that's a bit more like, oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
I also think it's good, like, not that I would live my life like this, but I definitely think on stage it's like nice and bright, and it's kind of eye-catching. Whereas, you know, these mousy brown-haired comedians, we never remember them, do we? They fade into obscurity.
No, it's funny. So do you feel that? Yeah, I can sort of... Because I went for a stage where I was like, I would dye my hair kind of blonde. I was very blonde when I was little, and then it kind of got that usual kind of turgid sort of old man brown. But for a similar thing, I felt more kind of... It feels very vulnerable to say this, but I felt kind of like vibrant. On stage. And then you sort of just go, oh God, it's now getting silly. Do you know what I mean? That you're kind of a certain age where you're like, as a man, you kind of feel, I'm not sure you can be putting blonde tips in your hair anymore. It just feels creepy. Do you know what I mean? I really enjoyed that chat. It was very fascinating and very varied. We went to all kinds of places.
Yeah, we really did.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Ania Magliano.